So welcome to the end of year celebration event for the brokerage. So my name's Yasmin.
Billy, welcome.
So obviously, as everyone knows, it's been a year, but we think it's so important to commemorate all the things that we've gotten through off the back of COVID, all the exam scares, trying to be students in this time, and just kind of celebrate all the good things that we've done. So to start us off, we've got some statistics to do that. So Billy.
Right, so start us off. Right, so how much people did we reach out? 1,500, a lot. Like ourselves, me, Yasmin, and everyone with the brokerage. So we also hosted 100 academies and outreach events, so including masterclasses and etc. via Zoom, of course. And over to you, Yasmin, for the other two.
So on top of that, we've achieved over 150 mentor pairings with some of our partners, including CSC, Hiscox, Bruin Dolphin, and that's just a few of them. I know quite a few of you inside the audience probably would have, it feels weird to say audience when you're not physically here, but a few of you I know would have been part of those mentor pairings. Billy, how many did you do this year?
3 so far, yeah.
That's quite a few, that's just one person. So 150 mentor pairings, so you should be extremely proud of yourself. And on top of that, we've had 69 placements. So I was in one of them as well last year, and also Nafisa was in one this year, but we'll talk more about that later. But first, before that, we're going to move on to recognizing ourselves with Afrin and Michaela.
Hi everyone, my name is Michaela. There has been a substantial degree of disruption to learning and access to employment as a result of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The social mobility sector has been forced to quickly adapt their services in ensuring that they could support their members online. One way in which the brokerage did this was through the creation of the Generation 2020 Ambassador Scheme. Recognizing ourselves as the first cohort meant coming into terms of what it meant to be part of the brokerage, how to cultivate meaningful change, and engaging with their corporate partners, and ensuring that we understood the importance of equal access for all, irrespective of race, background, and gender. With the Brokerage Ambassador Group representing diverse talents and experiences, we were able to fuel our passion for supporting candidates and continuing the cycle of giving by shaping and redesigning future programs. For example, we helped to lead the candidate registration sessions where we would give our top tips on how to engage with online masterclasses and applying for internships. One thing we can say we all enjoyed is getting to know the new candidates and seeing their engagement and excitement for starting their brokerage journey. As the first cohort of ambassadors, in a year where questions about diversity and inclusion were at the forefront of discussions, we knew we had the responsibility to represent the views of candidates like yourselves and to project to our corporate partners our hopes for the future. We were privileged in being presented the opportunity by the Worshipful Company of International Bankers to feature in their 2020 Autumn magazine, where we were able to write a piece about what we believe companies need to be doing in terms of diversity. We collectively, as ambassadors, believe this involved companies having transparent conversations with their staff, investing in dedicated schemes and recruiting ethnic minority talent, and also ensuring that staff felt confident in displaying their gender pronouns in company email signatures. Working collaboratively on this project brought us closer together as teammates in understanding each other's unique viewpoints, adapting our communication skills to suit everyone's needs, and also developing strong project management skills.
Hi everyone, I'm Afrin, so I'll be continuing from what Michaela has said. So as the first cohort, we recognize the importance of candidates being exposed to representation and diversity. It's really important for them to know that there are other like-minded students like them who may have the same aspirations or inquiries about gaining internships or employment. So thinking about the advice we wished our younger selves had, we founded a podcast called A to Z Talks, which is an inclusive space where students can engage and discuss current affairs or current issues affecting students from a disadvantaged area. We covered episodes like 2020 A-level results day, our mini side hustles, what it's like to study at top universities, and also we covered transferable skills that can support your application for employment. I'd like to say one of my favorite episodes would be where everybody shared their first lockdown experiences, and it really made me realize that we're all like-minded individuals with similar experiences in life. We should all be united at the end of the day, regardless of our backgrounds. So speaking on behalf of the ambassadors, I can say that we have all had an amazing and insightful experience, taking part in social media takeovers, attending group meetings, and participating in discussions with our corporate partners has really helped us boost our soft skills and knowledge. And on behalf of everyone else, I can say that we are extremely proud to have represented an organization like the Brokerage.
Thank you for that, Michaela and Afrin. So, right, my PowerPoint didn't want to move. So we mentioned before that we're going to talk a bit more about our internship. So I did an internship 2020. So this was literally when COVID just hit. And to be honest, I did not think my internship was going to go on, but it did. So I did an internship with William Blair Investment Banking Boutique. And it was conducted, like I said, during the COVID year, and it was all virtual. But we did get to visit, as you can see from the lovely picture that I'm going to put into the PowerPoint for us. So we did get to visit, and we actually got to go out for lunch with one of the managing directors and a partner. But I was extremely supported by the brokerage throughout the entire process. So from actual application, making sure my CV was correct for it, making sure that I was good with my interview style, and actually being supported once I got it, and knowing what kind of goals I wanted to draw out from the experience, and making sure I was able to fully reflect on kind of how and where I want my career to go from the experience. So a special shout out to Jennifer, who was so lovely and did all my meetups with me. And she was just so supportive and sent me loads of encouraging emails and just made sure that I was okay throughout the program. So it was a rotational internship. So I got to visit investment management for a week, sales and trading for a week, and then investment banking for a week. And I just feel like it's so important, like alongside your academia, to actually have real life experience with you, because you meet so many people outside of the technical skills you learn within your role in your internship. You meet and network with so many intelligent people. So I met so many people who taught me so many things that I know I can take on into my future. I learned so much about the banking industry in general and what the visions are within investment banking, what I like, what I hate. They told me the truth. They helped me. To this day, I still talk to people from my internship. And I will just really encourage them to apply and to get that real life experience. But enough about me. I'm going to pass on to Nafisa. He's going to talk about her experience in a different industry with Headlands.
Hi, I'm Nafisa, and I'm also one of the Generation 2020 ambassadors. So I was meant to intern with Headland, which is a public relations company, last year, but it got deferred to this year. And mine's basically a little bit of a story time. So living 5 minutes away from Canary Wharf meant that I've had a glimpse of what the corporate world looks like since young. Back then, all I would associate with work life was suits and ties, heels, being in a hurry with a prep drink in hand. As I've grown older, my understanding has developed about the corporate sphere, and I mainly owe that to the brokerage. Now, my brokerage story is rather short, but you'd be surprised with how much I've managed to grow professionally because of the brokerage. I joined back in December 2020 and was able to attend multiple events during that winter season. One event that particularly stood out was the public relations company Headland Masterclass. I attended that masterclass, not anticipating that just a year later I'd be completing my first ever internship with them. And though there was a point of that internship where I accidentally mistaked the CEO for junior level, and that is something that I did not pick up from the brokerage, so don't worry, I was able to develop my professional skill set and become more confident. The brokerage were extremely helpful from the beginning stages of the application process right to the end of my internship in August 2021. With the review calls, the brokerage supported me and most definitely prompted me to become more evaluative of my career journey. PR now stands as a strong contestant for a potential career for me, and it's crazy to think that I would never have known what it is if it went for the brokerage. Now when I go past Canary Wharf, those tall buildings do not intimidate me anymore, and I don't look at the people as alien. Rather, I see them as smart individuals who behind their small screens in their corporate offices are slowly changing the world.
Thank you so much. So we first want to introduce our alumni keynote speaker. So Nafisa says she hasn't been here for long. I've only been with the brokerage since I was 16, but Esther Akinwolemiwa has been here way longer, but she's going to speak about her experience with the brokerage.
You're just on mute, Esther.
Thank you. Sorry. That's something I've heard a lot in the last few months. Hi everyone, my name is Esther, and thanks for Yasmin for the introduction. I joined the brokerage in 2007. I got my first professional job with the brokerage. It was an internship at Bloomberg, 3 months internship at Bloomberg. And that kind of helped me set my career. From that internship, I decided I was very interested in finance and banking in general. So since then, I've kind of worked in the banking space and soon to be moving into private equity. I want to start off by saying congratulations to all of you. This has been unprecedented times in terms of navigating education and life in general in a lockdown. So impressive that you've been able to do it. And this is a testament of your resilience. So well done for making it this far, and well done for, the great things that the brokerage is doing and will continue to do with you. From my perspective, in terms of career tips, I would say one of the things that you should be conscious of with your career is that you just need to always keep learning. Keep learning the little things, the big things, the small things. And one of the key skills that will not change is people skills. How to talk to people, how to communicate, how to relate to people, how to build relationships with people. Technology is doing a lot, but that bit technology is not doing, and technology cannot do. Well, who knows? Technology can help, but it cannot replace. So I would say throughout your career journey, throughout your life journey, people skills always work in that. Technical skills, they change so much day to day. Some of the things that I used to do 10 years ago, I can now do with the push of a button. Things change, and in the next 10 years they'll change again. So just make sure that the people skills, communication skills, what they call the soft skills, make sure you learn those, you practice those, and you keep developing those throughout your career. So those are that's a little bit from me. Oh, and I should also mention that I currently work at Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is a US bank. I work in the European offices and investment banking side of the business. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Esther. Yep. So we'll move on to the next alumni is Omar Rahman, who's also a strategy manager at Brewin Dolphins and also was a mentor for the brokerage as well. I'll pass on to Omar.
Thank you very much. I think I'm off mute. Jennifer asked me to share something inspiring, and I joked with her that I didn't really have anything particularly inspiring to say, but purely coincidentally, actually, over the past 3 or 4 weeks, one of the previous ambassadors mentioned story time. I think I'm about to go into story time very quickly, because just to explain a couple of things that very randomly happened to me over the last few weeks that I found hugely inspiring, and I hope many of you will as well. So I have been at Brewin, we've been looking to hire for a particular role for a few months now. I've been quite heavily involved in the interview process. We've probably interviewed maybe 20 to 30 people from all sorts of very impressive backgrounds, from a CV perspective. And after having interviewed 20 or 30 people a couple of weeks ago, we interviewed a lady who really just blew me away. I thought she was excellent. The way she came across, the way she presented herself, the way she spoke, her experience, her skills, her knowledge, everything was just spot on, and probably I'd say exactly what we're looking for at Brewin Dolphin, for someone not necessarily even just for that particular role, but generally someone that's willing to learn and has proved that they're a fast learner, etc. So I was obviously intrigued during this, so I asked her, as you do in a standard interview, why she wants to work at Brewin. And her answer was that she had previously been a student or a candidate at the brokerage, and she'd come across Brewin Dolphin through the brokerage, and she basically wanted to work for an organisation such as Brewin or any other organisation that had the same sort of, belief system, the same purpose, as it were, in terms of supporting social mobility and the kind of work the brokerage do. And for me, that was fascinating for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, she was an excellent candidate, so clearly she's doing something right, and the brokerage have been doing something right by coaching her with the kind of workshops that you guys have access to through the brokerage, for her to be able to stand out ahead of 20, 30 other candidates from all sorts of different backgrounds. But secondly, I don't know if we have any other corporate partners on the call, but from a corporate partner's perspective, just to see the value of just the value, I suppose, just to see the way the world is changing, in that working with the brokerage has allowed us at Brew and Dolphin to attract more talent, and it's allowed us to see the value of the diversity of talent from amongst the brokerage candidates. And also, we're now starting to understand that people kind of the next generation, as it were, want to work for organizations that are purpose-led, purpose-driven, and it's really kind of hammered that home to us. So I was kind of on a high off the back of this interview, thinking, wow, this lady was really impressive, the brokerage, really impressive organization, etc. Just to track back a little bit, so my role at Brewin, I am a strategy manager. I work directly for the CEO of the business, so for the chief executive, on all sorts of strategy related stuff. So as part of that, I have a weekly catch up with him where we talk about essentially all of the priorities going on across the business for that particular week or month or whatever it may be. So we'll typically go into a virtual room, and we'll have an agenda in advance of 6 or 7 items that you would normally expect to be on the priority list of a FTSE 250 company. That might be mergers and acquisitions, it could be anything. Obviously, as everyone I'm sure is now used to, at the beginning of each of those meetings, we have the 2 or 3 minute mandatory, how's the weather where you are, what's the cricket score, all that sort of stuff. This time, when I joined the call a couple of weeks ago, that 2 minutes of mandatory small talk became about 25 minutes, and the topic was, and I apologize if I'm speaking about them if they're on this call also, but the topic was Brewin this summer had 3 interns from the brokerage working in our research department, and just prior to my call, a weekly call with the CEO, he had a 1-hour call with the 3 of them as kind of the end of their internship. And he spent about 20 minutes telling me how unbelievably impressed he was by them, just having spent 1 hour with them. And we spent probably a total about half an hour, 1, talking about how impressed he was about them, 2, me talking about how impressed I was by the lady that I interviewed, and 3, us both talking about how this should impact our hiring strategy for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, in terms of the value of having diversity of thought, diversity of experience, of seeing how bright some of the candidates are from the brokerage. And I suppose the context for me here is, this is not 3 people that came in, did an internship and spent, a few weeks with their line manager for those 6 weeks. This is, board level, the CEO of a FTSE organization spending half an hour on a non-agenda item talking about how impressive the brokerage candidates have been and how we need to consider our hiring strategy off the back of that. And for me, that's just fascinating to think that when you guys are going into these firms for interviews, applications, internships, etc., one, I'd say you should have a huge amount of self-confidence in your academic profile, your academic experience, your professional experience, all of the stuff that you might have done extracurricular. Don't for 1 minute think it doesn't count for anything, or you don't have the sufficient technical knowledge for that particular role, because in 1 hour 3 interns have managed to impress the CEO of a FTSE organization. And I'm sure, based on the conversations I've had, that I'm sure that these conversations are going on across boardrooms across the city, in countless firms. And for me, that's inspiring for me to think that in 10, 15 years time, the city could look very different, purely because of people like yourselves, how motivated you are to succeed, how hard you work, and people like Jennifer and the whole team of the brokerage as to how they're supporting you. So I would say, hopefully you can all take some confidence in that as you go into kind of whatever it may be, application season or however over the next year or so, that you're making waves in the boardrooms of the city. It's not just a question of a online boring graduate recruitment thing that you're filling in. You're doing something much bigger than that, and I wish everyone all the best and congratulate everyone on everything they've done so far.
Thank you so much to the both of you. That was really nice. But we're gonna get into the awards section of the presentation. So we've got a number of categories. So we've got Commitment to Professional Development Award. We have the Mentee of the Year, Intern of the Year, and then my personal favorite, the Young Leader of the Year, because the person getting it really deserves it. So we'll start with the Commitment to Professional Development Award. And for year 12, it goes to Molly Attridge. So congratulations. I don't know if it's brought her up to panelist. Yeah.
Yeah, I should speak.
Hi.
Hey, how do you feel about winning?
I was quite shocked when I was told, actually, because I was not expecting that at all. But yeah, I was really pleased that I got it. So
Well, you definitely deserve it.
Thank you.
Well done. So move on to our next award. Billy, do you want to announce the next award?
Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys. I thought I was off mute and stuff. All right, cool. So the next one is Mohammed. Hold on. Are we getting him on?
Yeah, Mohammed should be coming on shortly.
Hello, can you hear me? All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Firstly, I'm really grateful to receive this award. I honestly did not expect that I'll be receiving such award at the end of the year. But although it is actually my first time giving a speech such as this, I felt quite comfortable and excited, and I think this is evidence of how kind of brokerage experience has improved my presentation skills. Because before the experience, I would have lacked the confidence to even make a sound here. So throughout kind of this year, we've attended various webinars delivered by well-known companies and learned about the path and experience that employees have gained. The main message that I've got, and I hope that you've got as well, is that everyone has their own unique path, and no one's path is kind of similar or the same. We learn everything by ourselves through kind of experiences. And personally, I've learned a lot from a mentorship program that I received from Reed Smith, thanks to the brokerage. And experiences that you and I have gained here will be valuable in moving to our future careers. And I'd like to thank the brokerage again, and I hope to stay connected with you all on LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then the next award, Biddy, if you could move on to the next slide.
Yeah.
And then the next award goes to Fatih, one of our year 13s, which is here.
Yep, she should be coming up.
Hi everyone, my name is Fatih. I was quite pleasantly surprised to get the award. I wasn't expecting it at all. And I would like to say thank you to Jennifer and Lauren for completely supporting me throughout my brokerage journey. I joined back in year 12 on recommendation of my economics teacher, and my journey so far has been phenomenal. I've joined several masterclasses and several lessons, and advice I'd have to incoming brokerage students is don't be afraid to dibble and dabble in each and every field, because there's something for you to learn, whether it be in law, whether it be in finance or banking. So don't be afraid that just because you're not searching for that certain career path, that you wouldn't learn something from it. So thank you guys.
And the next award for school leavers is for Ami. Congratulations.
Hi, Emma, you should be able to speak now.
No. Wait, can you guys see me now? Yeah, cool.
Yes.
So yeah, like the previous guys, I was also surprised. And if I have any advice, it would be to be as proactive as possible. Last year I didn't get the grades I wanted, I didn't get the opportunities that I wanted. So I just decided to take a year out instead of rushing into things. And yeah, that's really helped me. Everything that the broker sent to me, I applied for it, mentorship schemes and other things. Also, networking, that's under the umbrella of being proactive. For example, this internship I'm at right now, through the brokerage, I reached out to someone before I got the job, and he told other people in the department, and that helped me as well. So, obviously getting this award, I obviously did something right. And yeah, so that would be my advice, to be as proactive as possible.
And for the last category, undergraduates, if Billy can change the slide, is for Huari. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but yeah.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Okay, so I'm Quarry. I want to thank the brokerage team for recognizing my progress, and I also want to thank the brokerage team for providing career support during such difficult times. So I was also quite surprised when I received this award, because I'm actually quite a newly joined brokerage candidate. So I joined in this April, but I feel like I have gained so many skills within such a short period of time. I've developed my CV and improved my commercial awareness through the mentoring program. I feel like if I don't join the brokerage, those skills will take me years to develop. And my advice to my fellow candidates are to attend as many academies as possible. Because if I go to my university's career page, and if I search for networking events, I can only see at most 3 events per month. But whereas the brokerage, it offers about at least 1 academy every single week. So, and my second advice is to always turn your camera on. I think one of the main reasons I received this award is because I wasn't afraid to turn on my camera, which made me more memorable.
Thank you so much for that, Rory. And I second turning the camera on. I'm literally the only one that turns my camera on in my seminars at uni, but at least the lecturer will remember my face. So we've got another award. So this is Intern of the Year award, and this goes to Tabitha Musa. So, well,
Is the one after?
It's the one after, but do you know what? We'll go and do the Intern of the Year, and then we'll come back and do Mentee of the Year. But Mentee of the Year, at least you know that you've got an award now. Intern of the Year, Tabitha Musa. So we have a little bit about why you was nominated and some of the reasons someone gave. So they mentioned how you faced so many challenges throughout your time as an intern, but the main reason you got through is because you did everything with a smile and you had a positive attitude, and your team was under immense pressure, but you were their beacon of light and you were helping them throughout the time. And you also produced amazing levels of work. And on top of that, you said specifically that you wrote stories for the team and they've been able to post them. And also you actually went out of your way, even though you were just finding your feet also, to arrange events for your fellow interns. And I think this is really nice as well. They said that your energy and enthusiasm every single day were just really good for the team in general. And you did a vlog, which was able to provide loads of content that they could use for the future. So congratulations to Vita. I don't know if they brought you up to the stage yet. Oh, they have.
Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Seen you.
Perfect. Hello. Thank you so much. Wow. Even the reasons, I was just thinking, you guys noticed these things? That's crazy. But yeah, like everyone else, I was really surprised to even hear this. I was like, well, this is lovely. But yeah, like I've been on the brokerage since I think the start of last year. So it was still before lockdown and everything. I was able to attend lots of masterclasses and things like this. But this internship was meant to be last year. And again, it got deferred. But you know, all things happen for a reason. It actually comes together quite well to have done it this year after my first year of uni. And I was working at Lloyd's of London. But yeah, I really enjoyed the experience. And I was really thankful for the brokerage for like for putting it, so giving us the opportunities, really. That's the main thing. I think that the main thing that I've learned, and the main thing I would say to everyone, is that being yourself doesn't have to be unprofessional. I think that's sometimes one of the main things we kind of do. We kind of limit ourselves and we box ourselves in because we have to be wearing suits or because we have to come looking smart and being all corporate in these environments. And there is a level of professionalism, and we have to make sure that we're presentable and still professional in that regard. But bringing your personality doesn't have to be unprofessional, and that's kind of one of my main takeaways. One of my main lessons and things I would say as advice is, just be yourself, because everyone else is taken, as they say. You don't need corporate robots. Sorry, I just ate some food earlier, so I'm just a bit shaky. But yeah, thank you so much for this award, honestly. Thank you.
Cool. Next one, last one. No, it's the one before. Mentee, right? As you know, who won, Luis. So reading off why you got the award, I was impressed reading through your mentor's comment of you did exceptionally well and engaging with your mentor, so such as taking on board what you said and just applying it in application to internships, and it was also said about you going beyond and learning the industry before others, like standing out in the crowd. So he was very impressed with you. So well done for getting the Mentee of the Year.
Yeah, thanks. Can you hear me, by the way? Yes. Yeah. So thanks for the award, and also just quickly thanks to my mentor Dan. He's been really helpful for the past few months. Answered all the questions I had, even though I just fired them at him kind of non-stop. So thanks. And then just quickly, just to all the kind of people watching, if any of you have the opportunity to take part in any of the mentoring programs, I'd definitely give it a go. It's a really good way to learn about different industries and roles from someone who's actually had experience with them. So yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
So we've got one more award. Afrin, are you still here to announce it? Okay, cool.
Billy's replied. Yeah. So our final award goes for the Young Leader of the Year, and that's for Diana. So congratulations, Diana. And the reason we chose you is because we recognized your enthusiasm and dedication to the ambassador role. And we've seen that you've taken great leadership to be the co-founder of A to Z Talks as well. So you've continued to drive the production of it, and we've successfully reached international clients with your help as well. And you've also gone above and beyond in your role and volunteered to make wider improvements to our social media channels. So both our YouTube and Instagram pages look very more professional because of you. And the wider feedback and insight you have provided on your behalf of other young people has also been really helpful. And you've consistently been really professional and passionate about your work. So congratulations, Diana.
And thank you very much. I'd like to say a massive thank you to all of the Brokerage team, specifically Katerina, Catherine, Jennifer, Aisha, Oris, Tom, for really throughout all the years I've been a brokerage candidate, supporting my development and also helping us like in different ways. And I would also like to say that I've really enjoyed my time being a young leader, especially working on the podcast with such an inspiring team who are really like motivated and have really been able to collaborate together to make like the podcast such a success. Additionally, I'd like to thank my fellow young leaders because they're such an amazing group, and throughout the pandemic we've been able to support one another and help one another, whether it was like advice on what we need to apply for or different tips. So we've really been able to be there for one another. And lastly, I'd like to thank the corporate partners for like all the mentorship opportunities we've had and for like all the opportunities throughout the year you've been able to provide us. So yeah, thank you very much for this award, and I'm really thankful to receive this award today.
Nafisa, I don't know if your mic's working.
Wait, can you hear me?
Can you?
Okay. So I'm here to give an introduction to the young leaders. So me and my cohort, we were the first ones to join the Young Leaders Network. So during lockdown 2020, many students found themselves disorientated. A-levels were cancelled, internships were postponed, and I was left with a lot of free time. I've always enjoyed volunteering, and so I jumped at the opportunity when I saw that the brokerage were recruiting a Young Leaders Ambassador Network. The network was all about helping students from low socioeconomic backgrounds access the corporate world, which very often is mystified for them. It was about introducing the corporate world to solutions and to their problems about diversity and inclusion, and promoting a dialogue between young people and the workplace. When accepted, I did not anticipate what it would turn into. From being able to host workshops for students such as yourselves, giving feedback to corporate companies about diversity, speaking in our A to Z podcast, to being published in our International Bankers magazine. These opportunities enabled me to both grow professionally and contribute my ideas. Not only was I able to be involved in work that promoted diversity, access, and inclusion, but I was also able to meet a strong network of ambitious and like-minded individuals. I'm sure all the ambassadors agree that we are incredibly grateful for the brokerage and its work. The experience of being a Generation 2020 ambassador is one that I'll always be grateful for, and I look forward to seeing how the next generation of young leaders will help shape the workforce for the better. And it's a great honor for me to be able to read out the next set of ambassadors who are going to contribute to, promoting access and helping students from low socioeconomic backgrounds access and gain entry into the corporate world. So we've got Yasmin, Pamela, Billy, Adil, Michaela, Sultan, Nafisa, which is me, Emily, Helen, Sharon, Patrick, Adi, Doyin, Amal, Ayub, Christos, Edna, Effie Tobor, Elizabeth, Ibrahim, Olivia, Sophie, Warren, Hasib, Sean, Theodora, and I apologize if I've said your name incorrectly. Feel free to correct me afterwards, since we'll be hopefully working together in the future. So from our experiences, myself and the other ambassadors have learned a lot about ourselves and would like to share some of our top tips with you. My first tip would be to do things that scare you. As cliche as it sounds, but the magic truly does happen outside your comfort area. Doing things that scare you are the places where you'll learn and develop the most. So I really urge you guys to go for things that make you feel a little bit nervous.
So my tip is, do you know what? Most of the people that accepted awards, you lot low-key stole my tip. But my tip is literally don't be afraid to apply to everything that catches your eye. So the brokerage taught me the worst thing that they can say is no. So literally, if something catches your eye, you think you have the skills for it, and even if you don't think you have the skills for it right now, but you can develop the skills for it, just apply. Because literally the worst thing you can get is a rejection letter, and no one died from a rejection letter that I know of. So I would say just go for it, reach for the stars, and do what you think you would like to do.
Yeah, so adding on to Yasmin's point, just what's the word? Yeah, just experience everything. That's my top tip for you guys, young leaders, and next cohort. So just like, because as a gap year student point of view, so I did teaching at the start of the year, and then unfortunately I got furloughed then, and then I did stuff on projects on it's called New and Heritage Month, which included learning about the museum side of things and just more of creative side, because I was mostly like driven in the academic side, like because I did politics, economics and maths. So just experiencing everything. I didn't say no to it. I said yes to pretty much most stuff. And then at the end of my gap year ending, I did like youth work. And so, yeah, just doing everything, like experiencing everything when you're young, like the world is your oyster, and it's pretty true. Now I'm off to Bath to do politics economics. So I would say experience everything. You never know what you get from it. You get a lot of connections, even like different industries, like the people who receive award today, like what they said. So yeah, experience everything. Next one.
Yeah, I'd like to just add on to what Yasmin said as well. Like, make sure to always ask questions. Like, as Yasmin said, the worst they can say is no. And also, I'd like to say, don't rush into making decisions. Even if something didn't work out for you this year, you can always take a year out and, gain new experiences as well. So that's what I did. I highly recommend doing a lot of mentoring programs as well. So, my mentor, he helped me with my CV applications and, my apprenticeship applications as well, and really helped me become more confident as a person. So yeah, really make the most of what Brokerage does provide. So going to masterclasses will help you network with people you actually would never meet before, like people from like different industries, people from like, I don't know, Credit Suisse, and they're really experienced in their roles. They can give you advice from there as well. And yeah, just make the most of everything you see really, and never hesitate to ask questions. You can also reach out to us as well. If you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to help. And yeah, just be yourself and make the most of everything. Yeah.
And adding on to what everyone has said so far, I would say my top tip would be to socialize with the people you meet at different events, especially with the candidates, as this will help you form a support system and also help you to build your network, as many of the students that are part of the brokerage are very ambitious students, like-minded, and you'll also be able to find people that are interested in the same career paths that you may be interested in. So it's really useful, as they'll also be able to provide you with a second opinion for applications you may be applying for. They'll also be able to like tell you about different opportunities that you may have not known about. And I think also just having somebody to be able to talk with about things that you're interested in. As with the pandemic, many people we have been prohibited from meeting people in face-to-face. I think with online and how now things are getting a bit better, just being able to meet different people, explore different opportunities, and like everyone said, just be yourself.
So we're gonna move on. So back to Michaela again, something for the corporate partners.
And yes, we would like to say a special thank you to the Brokerage corporate partners. The support you provided students with during this unprecedented time has not gone unnoticed. The services you administer, such as delivering masterclasses, participating in our mentoring scheme, offering internships, employing candidates into apprenticeships and other entry roles. Your presence in the charity has shaped careers and have driven a cultural shift in the workplace. We would also like to thank you for taking the time and taking consideration of our suggestions for the future workforce. Hearing about the meaningful conversations that take place during the Corporate Partners Forum, and then that you are paving the way for unrepresented students like ourselves that have the chance to work in top corporations where our passion for the role is the most important thing. We look forward to seeing how our partnership with you prosper in the future. Thank you very much.
So thank you for that, Michaela. And thank you to the corporate partners. So we hope you've enjoyed the event. Now we're going to give you, actually, Billy, should we give them a little insight into what's going to happen for the next coming months?
Yes, of course. Let's tell them what's up next. So what's coming up, guys? So there's going to be a new curriculum, workshops, and also masterclasses focusing in building your practical skills, and also, of course, putting opportunity for you guys to develop into practice in real life, of course, such as mock assessment centres or mock interview skills. So it's going to be back to normal and in-person events as well at our partner offices. And what else are there, Yasmin, as well?
So we've got internship applications start opening from November onwards. That's for like undergrads. And then the bulk applications again opening from March to May for year 12, year 13. So like I said, guys, I think real life experience is so valuable alongside academia. So I would literally encourage every single one of you on this call to go and apply. And also one thing I'm like super excited about is that we're going to be launching our candidate hub, which will make sign up to events so much easier. You can access past masterclasses and other useful resources. And also what I think is so important is that you'll be able to talk to other people in your cohort or your year. So I think all of us can relate with the fact that when you go to brokerage masterclasses and events, there's kind of common faces you see typically. And it's good to interact with your peers because you literally don't know where they're going to be tomorrow. So I would encourage you all to get linked into that candidate hub as well. So this takes us to the end of our 2021 Brokerage celebration event for our candidates. So this has been a lovely event. Thank you to everyone who participated. Thank you for listening to us. And yeah, thank you.